Finally, I swear to God, that's the last time I'm pushing record. It's recording now, and I was just trying to ask Nick what you thought about the new color scheme and background and stuff for Marvel Multiverse Mayhem.
It looks beautiful, man. I can't wait for you all to experience it right now. And
That's real
throughout
beautiful,
the
man.
show. And I like our new picture thing. So I think it's really interesting when you actually get to see the people reacting in the photo. So
Yeah, I try not to use any fake ones. I might ask someone to re-record something we actually did in the show because the motion isn't smooth enough in the recording to take the snap. But yeah, I can see myself being very very animated today, Nick.
me too.
With the news that we have. You want to start it?
Let's do it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Marvel Multiverse Mayhem.
Woo! Craziness. We even got new graphics. Woo!
Woo! We look more beautiful than ever. Again, I'm in HD, 3D, not really, but I'm here with Kyle. We are, of course, here from the GenreVerse podcast network and LRMonline.com, and you might be listening to us on one of the many streaming services we're on, which if we're not on that streaming service, it ain't worth visiting. And YouTube. So check us out there too. And of course, we're brought to you by Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. The more pregnant the pause, the better. And I'm going to hand it off to Kyle. We're doing kind of a special new thing. We don't have not a lot of stuff to watch. We were even looking at movies we could watch. So I'm like, why not watch Hulk? Because of She-Hulk. And he's like, well, we should save Hulk for the actual She-Hulk release. So
yeah,
we've kind of decided we could do like news and like trailer reactions like that when weeks we don't really have anything that we really want to watch or discuss.
Yeah, more like trailer discussions than reactions. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm still playing with some of my new audio, so if I clip or sound kind of messed up, pardon me. I'm fine tuning this new AT2040 mic, and yeah, like it's really weird on how quiet it can be and then how loud it can be. It's weird. Anyways, guys, news stuff, kind of like the weekly wrap up of news, only on a Thursday. Because well, for the time being, as far as we know, well, no, we don't know, because the Marvel show really it's going to be weird with Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel. But for the time being, we're sticking with the Thursday things, guys. So yeah,
that's why we had to change our name in the first place. We used to be Marvel Multiverse Mondays, and then they're like, nope.
Exactly. So, Nick, I gotta complain about Marvel for a second, okay? One of the worst comic book storylines ever executed was Secret Invasion. Okay, I think almost everyone can admit cool idea, garbage execution, right? So I wasn't very excited when it was announced that we would be getting a show for it. And now I'm even less enthusiastic because this goddamn show takes place during the blip. And it's not that it takes place during the blip, because that would actually be interesting. But it's the fact, dude, that once again, where we are not moving forward with the MCU, we're going to be stuck right around Endgame again. Earlier this week, Kevin Feige said that the show Secret Invasion is during the blip, when half the universe is gone. My guess is that the one of two things: the Sam Jackson that we see get dusted at the end of Infinity War is the Nick Fury Jackson, and it's the Skrull one from the get-go in the place of him during this blip, which would kind of fit for the Secret Invasion. Plus, I don't know if Ben Mendelsohn was confirmed or not for this series. Do you know?
I'm fairly certain he is.
Okay.
I don't think you could do it without, unless he is the one who's blipped. You can't do a
right, and that's what I was going to say.
without.
Or is this one of those cases where the Ben Mendelsohn one was blipped, and when he comes back? But I'm guessing it's going to be him kind of trying to fill in for Fury while Fury has been blipped.
That's my assumption, that the real Fury got blipped, and then that's part of the secret invasion part is that.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I wonder how. Well, first of all, I want to say I kind of liked it. I mean, I know we're not moving forward, but we haven't seen anything that takes place during the blip, which will be kind of interesting to see the world in turmoil.
I agree. If this had come first, if this had been the first fucking series after, at most like Black Widow or even before Black Widow, because now it's like I said, it's suffering simply because of everything else over the last 2 years hasn't moved us forward, and I'm just tired of being out. It's like the prequel and OT era of Star Wars. I'm tired of being else. There. Yes.
Let's go somewhere else in the galaxy too with new characters. It's always the Outer Rim. Tatooine, no one gives a shit about it. Except for every Star Wars writer.
That's where Vader was born. I don't care.
I was born here, you know. You're gonna die here, you know.
Yeah, I know. Convenient.
But
anyways,
so I think it would be real Fury getting blipped. But what makes that interesting is he's not actually filling in for Fury because otherwise
Middleton is official for Secret Invasion.
But he's not really filling in. Maybe Sam Jackson is a big part because if he was filling in for him, then Captain Marvel wouldn't be pissed. The Avengers would know that Nick Fury is still around because there'd be a fill-in for him. So why would the Avengers and Captain Marvel think he's gone?
That's a good point. So what the hell's going on in the show then? How can he be a part of it?
Maybe Sam Jackson is barely a part of it. But it's revealed other characters. I don't know.
Well, I mean, then why would Mendelsohn be in it for all that if he's not going to be? Maybe he's. I think
we're going to get almost entirely Mendelsohn. Maybe even impersonating other people. Maybe it's even to keep the war and the world in order. He might impersonate someone else more important in the government or something that was blipped.
Now,
because obviously it's going to be very different from the comics. Just like Manny insists Civil War is not Civil War. And to an extent, he's right, but it's what they can do with the characters they establish. You can't suddenly add all the characters from Civil War into the universe. You have to work with what you have. Like, you can't invent the kid team all of a sudden that causes... And of course, Civil War, the reason was different. It's Sokovia. It's not a team of young superheroes accidentally blowing up like an entire block or whatever it was.
Yeah. I think what you said is kind of on the point for it, man. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be the Skrulls basically trying to hold Earth together, and maybe I don't know if they'll bring in another species like the Kree or something like that. Trying to take maybe advantage of it.
Yeah,
trying to take advantage of it. And that the secret invasion from the comics is Skrulls coming in, but maybe this is more like other groups trying to take advantage of the Thanos decimation, if you will, and the Skrulls might be trying to help.
I think it's trying to help. Skrull v Skrull.
That could be
because they're obviously not. I mean, just like not every human's a good person, not every Skrull is a good person. And they obviously the twist of Captain Marvel is that these are the good Skrulls. They're just trying to get back home. They're not here to impersonate people and take over the government. Yeah. Whereas and the Kree were the bad guys. So you could have another group of Skrulls who show up, and Ben Mendelsohn has to deal with that because they're impersonating people. Like maybe there's even scenes where they're Captain America, and like he has to like prove that they're not or something because or Thor because Thor has just been depressed for 5 years and hasn't shown himself.
Do you think we'll see any movie stars, like the big movie stars, in this show? Honestly, Nick, like
based on their reputation,
like not a reused like shot from something they repurposed, but actual cameo.
No one more popular than like a B character like Wanda or Loki.
Who's left it during the blip but the original 6 plus some Guardians?
Well, that's the thing. You could have evil Skrulls running around as like Sam Wilson and
that's true. That's true.
Or like Wanda or something, they can't do this anymore, but like Black Panther, some kind of thing where they're like, look, we are here, like we weren't blipped. But again, if they made too big of a, or like especially Thor, because Thor has just been burying his head in the sand for 5 years. He became Eminem, and he just has like his His hood over his head, and he's super depressed. But at the same time, you would think if it's going to be that big, unless it takes place like in a day, which is what they usually use to describe. It's like, well, why didn't that superhero show up? Like, why didn't the Avengers show up to help when all the goo in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was happening? Why didn't they help Captain America? It's like, oh, because those shows took place in 1 or 2 days. It's not like they had time to round up the troops. And in fact, I like when they say that in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, where he's like, I had to find an Avenger to help. She's like, why me? He's like, is there any other powerful Avenger really on Earth like left for me to just go and find?
Yeah.
Especially since he's forgotten about Peter Parker. So
yeah, they just know that a Spider-Man does exist. They just don't know who he is. I know a lot of people were freaking out over, if it takes place in the Blip, how do you have Fury in it? And I think we're going to see him more than maybe more than maybe we even should, because like you said, it potentially brings up an issue.
Unless he's showing up as Fury in more secretive spots, like
Mendelsohn
not
might
out
not,
and open.
Or Mendelsohn, Talos might not know about the beep. The beeper was hit, of course, and we know that Captain Marvel speaks to the Avengers fairly soon after the snap, but she, Talos may not have gotten in touch with her yet and all that. And for all we know, because of the gap between her showing up, where's Fury, and him coming back, him just playing in the background could be real. I think that's kind of the angle it's gonna be,
because
but
you can't have him even doing big events otherwise.
No, you can't.
That's why I think he wouldn't approach the Avengers, as he's like, I don't think I could convince these guys that I'm the Nick Fury they know, so I'm gonna wait a little bit. Otherwise it feels like they're gonna have trouble with plot holes, but we're not writing this shit. So, and I still think there is no Maria Hill. I think she's always been the female Skrull.
Always been a Skrull.
We met her afterwards.
I wouldn't be against that. Other than the fact that Kobe Smulders wasn't the Skrull actress. You know what I'm saying? She's not in the Skrull makeup.
No, so I know, but Talos isn't in black. I mean, in
well, what Talos's main human form is Ben Mendelsohn, the agent,
obviously,
the Shield.
He can be Nick Fury
supervisor. He can.
And so, like, imagine in early days where he's like, "I'd love help from a Skrull," and it's like, well, we can create this fictional person that would be your right hand woman. Yeah. And,
but they could have used her like female, the actress's I don't know. It's just one of those weird things where it's like, yeah, absolutely. Story wise,
that's always been just it's always just been a thought or not even a rumor, just a theory.
I think it's
Captain Marvel.
I think it's a good theory.
I
think it's real possible. And like I said, the face doesn't have to be Smulders because they are shapeshifters. It's just one of those where it's like,
it could have had.
Yeah, you guys molded this into something versus planning it, which can be fine if executed.
Maybe that wasn't originally planned, but it was the post-credit scene in Spider-Man. Well, the whole movie Spider-Man is what made me think about it, where it was never Maria Hill either. Yeah, it was those two, Talos and
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about.
And then this is a show. I don't think he's been announced. Why not bring Coulson in as a main character?
You don't need. He's.
But he could be working closely with.
You got to remember, Agents of Shield.
Oh, you're right. This is post Agents of Shield. This is not. This isn't 1995.
Well, no, it's not even Agents of Shield. It's not even about being post Agents of Shield. Agents of Shield is not canon anymore. It's not mainline MCU. So as far as the universe is concerned, Coulson died in Avengers 1 for mainline MCU. So
they only used him because it was 95.
Yeah, they only used him because it was the 90s. Yeah. Yep. So, like I said, my biggest pet peeve is that this is coming out now when I didn't want to be here anymore. Hopefully it's still good though. Hopefully it's still good.
Did you feel the same way about Captain Marvel before you saw Captain Marvel? Like, why are we jumping back?
No, I still stand by Black Widow would have been more emotionally the payoff for Black Widow would have been more seeing that between Infinity War and Endgame. But
you wouldn't be able to. You
you
just
didn't
make
need-
it without.
You didn't need.
Yeah.
You didn't. Her showing up in Endgame. You don't need her movie. She's super powerful. You could have even written it as a home. Oh my God, who is this chick showing up, busting through Thanos' ship and stuff like that. You didn't need her movie for us to get anything out of Endgame. Really didn't.
I know, but I don't love. It's one of my least favorites, but I like that movie. I like all of them. Even Thor 2 is worth watching once in a while. As we,
you know what I like?
We watched last time.
Segues to our sponsors. What I like. Grow Generation. Guys, talk.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. For all of your cultivation needs, Grow Generation has the right products, service and staff to make your grow successful. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
Just to have it fit. Just to have it fit. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the episode. We're talking about fitting in Fury through, little lines of dialogue to weasel your way, kind of like they're doing with Obi-Wan Kenobi. And one thing I did notice as I'm looking at the screen, I can see the little talking indicator at the top of your thing. So I got to expand the frames a bit. So if you guys see these little dots above Nick's head, I'll expand the frames and later. Anyways, the Thor trailer hit, the official Thor the official trailer versus teaser, even though there's not too much difference
it's longer
anymore.
And they reveal more shit. I watched your video thing before this.
It is longer, but not by much, and
it's so close behind the other one.
Yeah,
because they waited so long.
Exactly, and teasers are usually shorter than they have been. But
Mission Impossible one is long to bring up Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I dug this trailer. I dug the music. I liked everything about it. The look, the narration from Korg. I think I'm even more excited about this movie than I was Multiverse of Mayhem, because I was like, oh God, how are you guys going to land that albatross? And they
were mayhem.
Yeah, more mayhem. They're madness. But this, man, is so disconnected. It's all cosmic stuff. It's Thor stuff. My biggest concern, like I said in my reaction, is Natalie Portman and Chris Hemsworth's chemistry, which was the worst part about the first two films. Like, worse than the writing in the second one was them two on screen. It's just not great together. Separate, they were okay. Like with Darcy, I enjoyed that pretty well. But anytime they were together, and yeah, that's my biggest concern here. But man, the big thing is Gorr, dude. Oh my goodness. I know some people are really upset that he's not more alien looking,
but it looks cool.
But I dug it.
Like, it's better than having a bunch of CGI. Is some a few prosthetics, and you can tell it's Christian Bale. Which is kind of nice. It's not like Abomination, where you get to see Tim Roth and then you see just something completely different.
Yeah, something completely different. No, man.
It's more like
what'd
Ben
you think of
Mendelsohn, even, where it looks like it's almost entirely makeup. It's not like they CGI a Skrull into the shot.
Yeah.
That way you get the essence. Originally, I was a little down on it because I'd just seen Mission Impossible earlier that day, and it's hard to compare anything to that. And I said did nothing to increase my excitement. Rewatching it today before the show, I mean, I don't think you could increase my excitement any more than the last trailer. Like, really, I didn't care. It was cool to see Gorr. I wouldn't have cared if we didn't see him at all until the film, but that's obviously not how Marvel trailers roll, unless it's Endgame, which really they didn't have to hide any villains in that because it's the same villains from the last film.
Yeah.
But bless you. My podcasting mate also said bless you. But I just lost my thought for a second. Love the trailer. Obviously, a lot of movies have been nailing it with real songs, like in music these days. We talked about that on Breaking Geek, where Danny's like, Kyle, what was that one song in that one trailer we watched?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot. I think the chemistry already seems better. We only hear them speak a few times.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't judge it on that.
Taika's definitely a better director than the Thor 2 director, whose name I don't even remember because he's not Taika Waititi or a Russo brother.
And it wasn't Kenneth Branagh.
No, that was the first one.
Who did it? Yeah, I know. I don't remember who did it.
Patty Jenkins was working on it for a while, but then that was one of the Marvel early on where they actually had. Well, I guess with Doctor Strange, we had creative differences too. But
yeah,
but yeah.
Alan Taylor did it.
Here's a
Alan
question:
Taylor directed.
Do you think Thor is dead? As in, there was a space Viking named Thor. Then again, the narration might just be for the trailer, where he says he was the one and only Thor, and then the moment she gets, he's like, "Oh wait, there were two Thors," or like, "I spoke too soon."
Yeah, I like that. So, like, as far as
Hemsworth wants to do it forever, but you could kill him off, and then we have a Thor for Avengers still. Natalie Portman gets the.
You know what happens in the comics with her, right?
Yeah, I wonder. Do you think they'll work that in?
Yeah, I don't see her sticking around past this.
No, I mean, do you think they'll work in breast cancer at all? Or
yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Like the cancer stuff. So here's where I think it goes. I said this a while ago, and I don't remember what show it was on, but I see Thor realizing that he is Thor, Odin's son. It goes all the way back to that line that Odin says in the first film. You know, you're both born to be king, and that's what, you know, Thor is. Not only does he want to do it, but he's spent so much time not wanting power, not wanting the throne, because that's what got him in trouble in the first place. And the very thought of taking it seems wrong to him because of that. And I think at the end of this, he's going to accept that he is Thor, Odin's son, that he is meant to be king of Asgard, the Thor, Odin's son that's in charge of it. And I think that's cool. I think that's good. You know,
Valkyrie looks bored in the first trailer.
She does look bored.
She could just hand. I'm sure she would hand it back without even any struggle if he decides he wants it. She's like, I don't want to sit in board meetings. And for some reason, Thor's like, I do, as long as there's enough beer.
You know, it's like almost, when you think about how long they live, it's almost like adolescence, you know, when we rebel against our parents and their legacy and the things they wanted us to do or wish they could do themselves, and try to, you know, live vicariously through us that way. Only for him, it takes a lot longer. There's trauma, losing all of his family and stuff. But I think, just like a lot of us do, at the end of the day, those things that were near and dear to our families usually end up being near and dear to us. So that's where I think it's going to go, man. We're going to see him kind of come full circle, and at the end of this all, there will be Thor, Odin's son, king of Asgard.
Why to say king of the Jews whenever you say king of? It's just, I grew up Catholic. They're always like,
there's more kings there than
I know,
Jesus,
but when you say king of, that's like king of the Jews.
King of England, king of France, king of Spain.
I grew up very strongly Catholic. So
okay.
Who says king of spades?
So king of kings, then? What? I mean, come on, Nick.
Thinking like Pontius Pilate over here. That's all. Got my religion references in the show.
There you go.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all works. I like that Korg is going to be a main character. It looks like, and I like that the Guardians looks like will be in the first act
two,
because even his training scene has him pulling the Milano.
Yes.
At first, I didn't recognize the ship until I watched it on my computer. I'm like, oh, there's another Guardians reference. And then I was gonna ask if you thought Tessa Thompson. Remember, she's gonna find her queen, and Natalie Portman, Jane Foster, were gonna finally hook up. But there is a scene in the black and white part where it looks like they're about to hold hands. Thor and
I don't know if anyone. I never thought it would be Jane and Valkyrie as lovers. I didn't see that happening. Jane comes off as very much a heterosexual lady. We've only seen her interested in the dudes. I don't know. That just didn't really cross. That didn't really cross my mind. Not that they couldn't do it, and there's no issue with it, but those two characters, when I heard Valkyrie finding a queen, I was definitely thinking other cosmic characters or potentially another deity.
The other thing is like, the god killer. It's like they're not gods. I mean, to him they are, but like they're aliens.
They're a lot more powerful than most aliens. I mean, a lot of aliens you could just shoot in the face and they'll die.
That's true.
You can't just shoot Thor in the face. The whole thing about gods and aliens from like phase one, where I come from, they're one and the same. I mean,
I think of the Loki line where he tells Thanos he'll never be a god.
Yeah,
referencing that he's a god.
Right. That's what I'm saying is I think some of the lines from phase one trying to like ground or make things about the MCU seem a little bit more realistic. I think Feige finally wrote those all away. We can just call them God. I mean, one of the best lines dealing with deities and all the MCU is Cap going, "There's only one God, ma'am," and he doesn't dress like that. I love it.
That's from Avengers.
Yes, exactly. I love it. So I'm excited for it.
One last thing, and then I have a question about something related to Thor.
God,
we'd skip Russell Crowe. Looks great.
I mean, Zeus, it's funny. You flick too hard. Thor's ass.
He looks like a drunken.
We're gonna see Thor's ass in theaters. It won't be blurred in theaters. Yeah. That's gonna be funny.
Someone's like, I've noticed a trend between Thor movies, and it's like, you noticed a trend between Taika Waititi movies, I believe. The other thing I was just gonna ask, which is more of an action thing. It's an observation I made when I was sitting in traffic today. In an action movie, someone gets like a cut somewhere on their face. Mm-hmm. No one ever gets bruised. Like
Tony had all sorts of bruises.
Well, yeah, but like think
Civil War.
Going back to what was it? Like Indiana Jones. That big guy punches him right in the face, and there's never I don't think they use bruises very often in movies.
Yeah,
it just started to bother me in my mind.
To cut and apply the makeup.
It's always like one little
blocking. No. I mean to cut filming, go in and put on bruise makeup, and then bring it back in. Yeah, man.
And I think it's just something we don't think of anyway, because no one really does it.
I think the practicality would be more difficult. There are boxing movies that have done it. But they use creative cutting for it.
And that's boxing movies is realistic. These are like, I'm talking about like not even your superheroes, but your action heroes never getting bruised.
Because it doesn't need to be that realistic. But I think the main reason why they don't take the effort, if it didn't require as much effort as it likely does, if I'm thinking right, I think that more people would do it. But anyways, let's move on so we can try to wrap this up.
I just thought that in the car. And
30 minutes or less, guys. That's our goal. Like pizza. Not every show needs to be
pizza
35, 40 minutes. We should aim for 30 minutes. So let's get onto it, Nick, with this last story. Daredevil coming back. Disney Plus. A lot of things are seeming like it's gonna carry on, but I don't think. Still
think these are variants. If that's part of the conversation.
I was gonna say I don't think
This is 616. I don't think any Netflix is 616.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has officially said that this would be an official thing, but THR in their coverage said. Matt Corman and Chris Ord have been tapped to write and executive produce the series that will be notable for being the first of the Netflix Marvel shows to get a new but continued series, sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. So again, no official things, but sources to THR. And guys, I'll tell you what, across the board, from trades down to the little leakers on YouTube and stuff, Disney has been like throwing out some serious lies and psyops, counterintelligence operations, especially in Star Wars. Right, especially in Star Wars. So I don't know whether or not I don't see how you carry it. I don't see how you carry it on. What I see is, like you said, variants where a lot of things that they went through were the same.
Like he already knows Fisk.
Exactly.
He doesn't need to meet Fisk. We don't need to see him meet Fisk. We don't need to reset. I mean, you can even if it's not a follow through at all, you can just assume things now.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've already have a history. This isn't the first time Daredevil's done anything. He has the second suit, unless I don't think they would redesign that just for. There's no reason to change it.
They're gonna change. They'll change it
a little bit, but I don't think they'll change it that much. I mean, the only thing with Fist they changed is Hawaiian shirts. I think that's why they changed it to Hawaiian shirts, is to avoid confusion. But do you think we'll see anyone else in it that we like Punisher or even some like Moon Knight? I don't think we'll see Moon Knight until after season 2, unless he's just dealing with Jake Moon Knight.
I would just focus on the fact that Daredevil's coming back before we try to figure out everything else that could go into it. Honestly, dude, more than anything, it's just going to be Daredevil and Echo stuff, if anything. Something related to what we saw in Hawkeye at most.
Oh, Echo would
and
be a good choice
at least something dealing with Echo and Fisk. Otherwise, I think not only will it be, but it should be Daredevil focused.
Speaking of the other shows I'd like to see and the ones I don't want to see from Netflix, I want to see Heroes for Hire. I don't want to see separate shows for them. I don't care if I see Jessica Jones again, and I definitely want to see The Punisher pop up. Yeah, and I'm kind of shocked they could have made Daredevil a movie. That would have separated it more from the original content. But it's interesting they're doing a series, and I'm glad he's coming back because he's the perfect Daredevil.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Charlie Cox's Daredevil. I was saddened by what they did with Fisk and how he played, and I know a lot of people trying to write, it's because of what happened during the blip and all that, and I'm just like, well, then you got to show it to us. You got to explain it. You should have had a moment where he was stressing out over not being able to do the job as well after coming back or something. You know what I'm saying? Just to have him in there all week. I didn't care for. So we'll have to see what happens with it. I'm nervous about it though, Nick. I'm not sold on them doing doing Daredevil.
Interesting. PG-13. Is that why?
You can
just show less blood. They show the same amount of violence.
Yeah, I was gonna say they showed a lot of violence in
Moon Knight.
Not just Moon Knight, but Multiverse of Madness, but all of that is really
more than violence.
All of that is really fantastical violence, and not as the censors look at realistic violence a lot different than beating up zombies or
it's mostly
ghosts
blood,
or demons.
I think you can beat on someone all you want, even break their neck.
I know, but what
you just don't show all the blood that would splurt out, and
I know, but
you won't curse or have sex
Daredevil.
in Daredevil.
You need that with what they've started. So you can do it with towing the line, but they got to be willing to toe the line. They did it with Moon Knight. They did it with Multiverse. So there is a chance. Anyways,
I'm gonna assume before we wrap it up that we're getting Foggy and Karen Page. I'm just assuming. Why not?
I wouldn't assume.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
Unless they're trying to really distance it and be like, this is a different universe.
Hopefully. But
Maybe they bring back Jon Favreau.
I wouldn't assume.
God. Even though he's already in 818 as... 616. Yeah, let's wrap her up. Thank you for listening, everyone. Let us know what you like, if you like this format, because we might be doing a lot of it going forward. We're waiting for Miss Marvel. We're waiting for She-Hulk. We're waiting for a goddamn Thor movie. We're kind of in Star Wars land right now because Disney kind of doesn't even give a lot of Star Wars Marvel news when they're doing Star Wars. Like and subscribe this video. Hit the little bell if you want notifications. I'm sure it all helps. Click dislike if you really want to. But...
No, just let us know what the problem is.
Yeah. We're on all the streaming services. We have other fantastic podcasts like Breaking Geek Radio, the podcast, which I, Geeky Nick Dahl, am a part of. MMMayhem podcast, where you got at that Kyle Malone. his fantastic, I can't remember the name of it, I just saw it today.
Genre shots,
which are his trailer reactions, and he didn't do a Mission Impossible one. So this is for you, Kyle.
Mission Impossible.
Everybody
what was I going to say?
it.
Oh, it's Tom Cruise doing a really cool stunt.
And then I feel like I'm forgetting other podcasts, but
Cantina does
the
Star
Cantina,
Wars news.
the Star Wars news pod. I think it's the only one.
We'll be reviewing Obi-Wan Kenobi starting this week on Fridays.
Kenobi?
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see how that goes.
And with that, Excelsior.
Enough said.